Hey planner friends, welcome back to the Planner Hoot. Today I'm moving into my 2026 Small Scout Planner, and this is the first planner of my whole 2026 stack that I'm officially moving into for the new year. So I'm very excited. This one is my family finance planner, and I'm going to show you how I use it to track my bills, track our spending, keep track of all of our financial goals, and just having a weekly money check-in without it feeling so overwhelming. I'm mostly keeping it the same because it's been working already, but I'm making a little bit of some changes just so that I can step out of my comfort zone a little bit in 2026. So I am excited to get into this video, and I do have a little surprise for you guys in this video, so make sure you stay tuned and let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Celinda and I use 4 different planners to organize my entire life. And this is the Scout Planner that plays a really important role in keeping our finances clear, consistent, and to be honest, very transparent and stress free. So, for a long time, I tried keeping our finances inside my everyday planner, but I realized that this area really needed its own space so I could really focus and understand my personal relationship with money. I know money conversations for many people can be very overwhelming and very emotional, but over the years, my husband and I have developed a habit to check in weekly. So, this planner has really just become our neutral zone where we can check in with ourselves, stay on top of our goals and our spending habits, and just really zone in and stay focused on what our goals are and being very transparent, knowing where our money is going. We've been married for 7 years, together for 11, and over the time, we've definitely had our ups and downs with money, life changes, moving to new cities, and now we're in the middle of building our custom home. So, this system has definitely helped us stay on track. Before I had the Laurel Denise Scout Planner, I just used a dotted journal from Archer and Olive for years. And that's all I used to track everything, just write all of our spending down, and then had a section for just what our goals were. So this system has truly evolved with us. It's not entirely new, but it is more refined for us now as we're evolving into our marriage as well. So when the large scout was launched, to be honest, I had just major FOMO because I was already in another Laurel Denise planner and I loved that I can see my full month and week at the same time. So I really wanted to make sure and try to use the scout planner. And since at the time I was just using a journal for my finances, I thought it would be the perfect planner to be able to use for my finances. And it did. I truly have loved adding this into my ecosystem, but there was still a lot of like white space for me because I wasn't using it to its full capacity just because the purpose that I was using it for was a little bit more minimal than the space needed. So when the Small Scout was announced, I was very excited because I knew I was going to get the same flow just at a smaller scale, and I was just sold with that already. My husband really didn't care. He was like, as long as we're still doing our weekly check-ins and our routines the same, I don't care. And so I kind of just took charge of like making sure it was more functional, but that was just my preference. So this is the size comparison from the large to the small. And if you haven't already seen this layout, I'll show you briefly just so you can see what this layout is all about. And so I have the month at the top and your week at the bottom. And so you're still getting the combo of being able to see everything at once. So your weeks just break down at the bottom of your planner. And you have these 4 boxes here with some note space before the month. And then you have the end of the month as well in this little note space here. So it's a really cute size. It's more traditional to the portrait style of planners. So I really thoroughly enjoy this planner. In comparison to the large, I think this one is undated. Let me see if I can find something. Yes. So when I got it, it was the undated version. But this is the size difference in the planner. It's still a really good planner, but like I can show you here, you see that the scale is a lot smaller. And so since I'm only using it for just one area of my life, this was a little bit more space than I needed. So this is definitely the perfect addition for my planning ecosystem. And so before we keep going, I do want to point out that yes, this is going to be a giveaway video. I'm giving away a small scout, and I will show you which cover I purchased for one of you lucky winners. So stay tuned and continue watching, and I will unbox this one for you guys. Generally, I just keep, of course, a monthly overview of bills, goals, and big known expenses that are coming up. Our weeks are actually for our spend log that we check in on a weekly basis. And on the month end, we do a whole reset and review of what we've spent and then adjust it for the upcoming month. So it's very simple for us because we know that if you're simple enough, you're going to actually stick with it, and that's why I think that it's really worked for us. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to move into my January for 2026. So before I write in my planner or even in my journals, I use the sticky notes to make sure that everything I want in my planner is going to find a home in this planner. So this is how I actually have my current one set up. So you'll see I have all of my big monthly bills and due dates up here. When my husband has projects, I will also notate that in there because I'm always aware of what projects he's working on, because with his projects, more expenses will eventually pop out. And then down here, I just have like the different things I'd like to make sure and track. We have our monthly spend tracker, money goals for our savings and budget that month. And then I have like a forecast of anything that's upcoming for trips, events, or those projects I was mentioning about. In the week, I do our spend log. I do a weekly goal checklist just to make sure I can like check in more frequently that I want. I like to set those goals for myself. And then at the end of the week, we do a spend recap just to kind of check in with each other in our finances and our bank accounts and just make sure everything lines up. And then these back pages, I'll do like the monthly checklist of what we actually go through when we sit together. And then we have a spend log, and I will divide this into business and personal. So that's also another reason why we like to have it listed out per day of what we spent, because in the end of the month, it helps me see what was business focused and what was personal focused, and then make those adjustments. Anything unexpected that came out that I saw on our, let's say we saw it on our bank statement and I didn't write it down, I do make a note of it here just so that I have something to remind me to follow up for the next coming month. And maybe it's a subscription I forgot to cancel or something like that. We do like a month review, our savings that we ended up saving this month, and then all the extra payments that we did for anything that we had pending. And this is a really fun one because then I know that this is going to be added to our starting balance of the savings account for the next month. So that's really simply how I lay out my finances. In the back pages, you'll see here that the intended use for this is going to be our spending versus savings tracker for the yearly plan. And then on the checklist, I want to do like a monthly and weekly routine of what we check in and just kind of give me a progress that we've done it every month. All of this is, I'm thinking, to put like a space of all of the projects for the home building process, and then just check them off as we need to go, whether it be by month or maybe I'm writing in what we're spending. I'm not quite sure, but I know I want to track the building projects that we have going on. And then anything else that I need to do for the home building. So like any selections I need to make or anything I need to pick out, all of the payments for the builder and things like that, just to kind of keep track of all of those things. And then have just like my next things to do and have these lists. I think for this section, I'm gonna do like per room, just so that I can have like a really clean checklist, whether it's something I'm gonna do right now or in the future, but kind of have like my vision for the whole, house and all the different rooms laid out. So I left space for that. And then here I will write in our big 2026 financial goals. And then this will be kind of like the notes I keep from our check ins and like just kind of have like those reflection moments. And that's what I'll be using these back pages for as well. So I'm going to actually move into my planner now. So I'll speed through it and then show you the final layout just so you can have a better visual with the colors. Two big things I think I'm trying for 2026 that I didn't point out is, first thing is I'm going to be adding this section here for an affirmation. I feel like I want something that I can reflect on every week that I'm going to be, working on my finances, just to kind of keep me a little more grounded and intentional with planning for our money and goals for finances. And then another thing I'm going to do that is pretty new to me is I'm actually going to use colored pens. I usually just use black and then I color coordinate with highlighters, but I found this set to be very, very cute and matchy. So there's 4 highlighters and 4 pens. So I'm going to create a kind of like a log just to know like what I'm going to use these for. But this is really new for me because I always just use black pens. So I'm excited to use this, try this money affirmation, and really getting out of my comfort zone with stickers. So I tend to not use stickers because my brain just honestly doesn't process function and action with like when it's too much. But I feel like this planner is the perfect planner to kind of start experimenting with that, because I do love to see all the different layouts and how everyone uses stickers and they just look so pretty. I know right now that may be too much for me, but I think I can start slow, especially with all of these tiny stickers from Laurel Denise. So they have the girl math stickers, the frog lists, and little hearts. So I want to implement them in my month for January and see how it goes. I feel like I can make them work since they are very minimal and they're tiny as well. So it's not going to be overpowering or anything. So I'm really excited to try that and see how that ends up working out. So that's the finished January setup. Like I mentioned, it's the same system I've already been using, just a little more refined. I can see that the color pop is making me a little happy. I'm loving the small little stickers. They're very cute. So I think it's going to work. I think this is good. I love that they're very minimal, but they just kind of have a little bit of a statement. So I'm excited to keep it going and see how it works for the rest of January. The one I just haven't added on is the frogs, because I think the back pages is mostly where my froggies are going to go, but I'm not going to do my back pages just yet because I feel like I want this to be something I do with my husband, since this is what we use on a weekly and monthly basis. I want the back pages to feel like it's both of ours. So once I move in officially to all of the back pages, I'll do a flip through to show you guys how those layouts ended up working out. But for now, this is the layout. I will also work on my affirmation as I move into the month officially. But I just wanted to share with you guys, how I'm setting it up right now, and I'm loving it. I really am happy with the little stickers. They're really cute. I did also take out, where did I put them? My little paper clips, because I've been using these and they're adorable. They are tiny. So what I have been doing in my Nancy planner is the month that we're on, I'll go ahead and flip it to that week. That way, once I get into that section, it's already in the week that I'm currently on. So I think I'm going to end up sticking to doing that just because they are real cute and they're another little minimal add-on. But again, out of my comfort zone with adding these little accessories. I think I did this one backwards. Doesn't do the little hearts justice. Let me put that back here. Well, not only did my overhead light go out, but I am about to unbox the small scout planner I'm going to be giving away so that you can see which cover you have the possibility of winning. So let me get into the unboxing here. So it is the Bennett sisters cover. Isn't she just a beauty? This cover is so pretty. I am not going to lie, guys. I was going to keep this for myself just because, again, with my FOMO, it's just such a beautiful cover. But because I know what the intention of this planner is for me, I'm sticking to the green just to kind of stay on theme with, money, green. I don't know. In my mind, that just makes more sense. But it is definitely one of your all's lucky days because this cover is just beautiful. I think that once they start restocking this cover for the other layouts, and fingers crossed in the middle of the year, if they go on sale, I will probably get one for myself so that I can have the cover as an archive and maybe use it for something else because it is a very pretty cover. You can see here the beautiful design of this, and it also has the greens and the yellows that matches the entire 2026 collection. But the inside, look at this, guys. Oh, it is so pretty. Just look at that. So this is the brand new 2026 small scout planner ready for one of you guys. It is a Monday start, and again, it is the small 2026 scout planner. So to enter the giveaway, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Planner Hoot, as well as comment below and tell me either your biggest finance challenge for 2026 or a financial milestone you've reached by planning your finances in a paper planner. And for 2 additional extra entries, there are links in my description for my goal starter pack, as well as a wait list for my 30-day planner challenge that is coming up in a few weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate your support. If you want a deeper dive into my monthly budget resets or money check-ins, let me know in the comments. I'd love to share more with you guys if you are finding this helpful. And of course, you can hang out with me on TikTok or Instagram. I love to answer all of the questions, and I do share a little bit more of my weekly resets and planner tips on that side of the internet. So until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, rest of your day, and go win your week.